Good morning. I thought I'd take some time this morning to sit back and reflect on my Dulcimer building. I've been asked to show a step-by-step process of how I build each instrument. So I thought it might be a really good time to look at the 5 years that I've been building them and do a little slideshow on the steps that I use, techniques, tools, workshop. Also have some video clips to show the progress that I've made on not only the style and design of the instruments, but my ability to play them. That's one thing I like to be able to spend more time doing because the instruments are a lot of fun to play. I want to first thank my wife, Robin. Without her help and her guidance, I wouldn't be doing this because I'm not a very patient person, and it takes a lot of patience to work with wood, and especially to build musical instruments. I also thank my family members and friends who have helped me find the wood, because I use all reclaimed and salvaged wood, and also help me promote the instruments once they've been built. It's been pretty successful. I didn't expect, nor did I even anticipate, getting into the business of selling instruments when I first started building them 5 years ago. The first one I built was actually a B.K. O'Brien kit, and I love the instrument. It'll never be sold because it's my first, and it's the one I usually use whenever I do appearances or shows. And it's made of cherry and walnut. It's the first one. It was built in April of 2010, and then the one that I've just finished and getting ready to ship is a beautiful spalted dogwood over walnut. This is instrument number 106. So in 5 years and a couple months I've built 106 of these. So that's keeping pretty busy. It's around the clock. But I enjoy it, and it's something that I know that I'm giving pleasure to other people, because I can take wood that's getting ready to be chipped or burned and turn it into something that can last more than one lifetime and provide a lot of joy and entertainment. So thanks for asking for a process review, and I'll go ahead and take you down to the shop. It hasn't been cleaned. There's no need to clean it. So you'll get to see exactly what I work with, and then we'll go through the step-by-step process and show you some videos. And then of course there's my boss. Little Rudy makes sure that I keep my break schedule on schedule. Sometimes I won't break, and that's not good for patients or for physical conditioning, but little Rudy makes sure I come in and sit down and take him for a walk, which is what we're getting ready to do right now. Isn't that right, Rudy? We can go for a walk? Here's our beautiful yard that Robin keeps up, and our friendly chickens who produce the eggs we need and provide us a little entertainment at the same time. I used to actually have a outdoor easy up right here where you see the bare ground. The weather got to be a little bit too difficult to work in, so I managed to pull everything inside. Some of the wood left over from the hickory yesterday, and then the wood I have here, hickory, cherry, cedar, a lot of other things. Stand back, I don't know what's going to fall out of the shop here when I open the door. You see I have one in process right here now, getting the furring strips installed on it so that I can go ahead and put the dogwood top on it. I have wood everywhere you can look, overhead, on the sides, cherry over there. Here's the dogwood that I've managed to claim. Really interesting to see how something can turn from these pieces right here to the instrument I showed just a minute ago. And my bandsaw, table saw, and belt sander and planer. And it's all in easy reach. I can stand right here and go from one step to the other all day long. So that's my shop. There's, in addition to the wood, there's also a lot of the hardware that needs to be installed. The fret wire hanging over here, and then the tuners and other items that need to be installed on the Dulcimers I can show in just a minute. And of course, in the heat of the summer, I've got to have my air conditioning. Almost every step starts with the table saw. From the table saw we go and create the planks for the tops, the sides, and the bottoms, and then join them. We take the sides and bend them in the frame that I have here. This is going to be a teardrop. Then we start on the scroll head and install the scroll head to the sides and the foot. Then we go ahead and cross over with the temporary cross pieces on the body and sand that so that we can measure for the bottom. We get the bottom in place and mark it, and then put it on the bandsaw in order to shape it. Then glue the bottom as well as the furrier strips for the top. Then we get it all sanded and get it ready for the installation of the fretboard, which in itself is a job. Install that to the top, and then get the top ready to install to the other body that is all now sanded and ready to glue. These are examples of the tuners that I can use on the scroll head. Then we put the top on the body and glue it with the clamps, and use the wine bottles there to put a little pressure on the fretboard. There's the finished product unstained. Once we stain it, that's when the instrument starts to come to life. The wood just becomes beautiful. Then we can go ahead and look at the fretboard design in order to come up with the nut and the bridge. Here's the nut installation right here on the scroll head. There's the finished product, all ready to play. The sound holes were actually natural knot holes that worked out really well on the placement. And there's the back and the scroll head with the chrome tuners installed. Sorry that was a quick run through, but basically it's a 2-week-long process, and I usually have 2 or 3 going at one time. There are a lot of steps that I did not include, a lot of the sanding steps, the shaping steps, the gluing steps, but it does give you an overview of the start to finish on an installation. Okay, now what I'll do is give you kind of a chronological report of the instruments that I've made from the first to the present. Show some of the advances I made in the designs and some of the nice features that I was able to add, like electric for instance, and then put a date on the screen that shows when each one was made, and in most cases what it was made from, the type of wood that was used. So I hope you enjoy the videos and the different sounds that each one produces, as well as the different look. This is my latest finished Dulcimer. It's a cedar top and walnut sides and back. Cedar top worked out real well. It had natural knot holes that I was able to book match and come up with the well-placed sound holes. So now I'll go ahead and play a short song to give an idea of what it sounds like. Years ago, and I mean years ago when I was a teenager, I was in a rock band. A lot of people look at me now and laugh. But anyway, I've always loved the sound of electric guitars. So I was thinking, why not electric dulcimer? Might be stepping into some new ground here, but anyway, here's my first, and I've built quite a few since.
No, this is it.
Top of the line. It's a beautiful amp.
Yeah, that's just it. That's a relatively simple instrument, isn't it?
You can make it hard. Like I can play mine. Mine's a little different from this. Mine has a. Yours doesn't have a 0